Welcome back, everyone. I'm Kyo.
And I'm Dog.
And we are the Manga Mommies, a podcast about everything. Yeah, it threw me off. You really threw me off with that one. I just looked at you weird for a minute instead of looking straight and acting like it was normal.
I know.
Fucking with me. We are the Manga Mommies, a podcast about everything to do with manga and sometimes our lives sprinkled a little bit in between. So as always, would you kindly get a drink, take a seat, and let's chat?
Woo!
My hair would stay in its spot.
I don't know what you mean about geek. I am Dog. If I don't make her question my existence at least once a recording, I'm not doing my job.
Sure. So who's that behind ya?
So this is the emotional support ghost. His name is George.
Hi, George.
Hi, George. Yeah, he is here with candy and treats for everybody. Because, yeah, depending if you picked the spoopy or the not so spoopy, you may need an emotional support ghost. He is also protector of the hardware so that we can get through this recording without something bungling up. Because I'm starting to develop a semi-permanent eye twitch.
It's not always me, folks. Wait, where was he in like back in April when we needed him?
Resting.
Still think he should have been there in April, but whatever.
Charging up all of his special emotional support juice.
I'll write a letter.
If you send it to corporate and tag HR, maybe some.
Maybe I'll get my way.
Since you are HR. Good luck.
I am all the HR. I'll still get my way then. How dare he not? Per his contract. I'm gonna make it work. In my favor.
Anytime there's a rough manga, the emotional support ghost has to come out. I feel like that's fair.
I feel that's fair too. But yes, this is the review, which, just like last year, we gave y'all the option of one less spooky or one spooky horror tale to pick from, which is considered your trick or your treat. Woo! So, unless you were randomly clicking or YouTube automatically played this to you because you flicked the cycle of keep playing something random after your show ended, you have selected our trick manga. Ooh.
George thought you might need extra encouragement for this one. He brought snacks.
Yay! He brought num-nums. I love snacks. I'm a snacky girl. You better share that in a minute. But all right. No, it's fine. I don't need it. I'm okay. I'll live. It'll be fine. Which was, by the way, PTSD Radio. Ooh.
Yes, booby. Ooh.
Exactly. So, gather your eggs and your TP in this economy. Well, we're just going to imagine that either A, you're all rich, or B, we're back in the 90s, folks. But all of my little tricksters, come with me and let's attack them candy snobs at the door.
Tiny claps.
Anyway, all right, Kels, tell us about this one a little bit.
All right. So our trick manga is PTSD Radio. It was written and illustrated by Masaki Nakayama. It is a horror / supernatural manga. Its original run in Japan was from 2012 to 2019. However, they didn't consolidate everything and translate it over into English until 2019. It has 6 volumes, but it was compiled into a few omnibuses. So, a little bit about this one. This is a collection of short stories, sort of interwoven together with central elements, carried into modern Japan from a forgotten past. Um, the being known as, I always mispronounce this one in my head, it's just the O man, but Ogushi, haunts and tortures humans of all kinds. Little is known about Ogushi's curse, except that it resides in an unexpected place: human hair. An unseen hand tugs at your braid. You find an old box with only a tangled mess of dark hair inside. You open a door in your home only to witness rivers of curls slinking away and an ominous lump at its heart. Ogushi preys on the unprepared. PTSD Radio takes something that seems everyday and twists it into a series of chilling, cryptic, repellent, and alluring manga stories that are more than they first be. So, I didn't get very far in this one. This was the one that I sort of struggled with. The narrative for me came across as a bit fragmented at times. It, to me, was genuinely creepy to read, but I am not a horror manga girly. A lot of the visuals in the manga I found were unsettling. I did have a couple really, not nightmares, but really weird dreams involving hair. I'm sure that was fun for my partner to wake up to with me going, "No, the hair."
It was probably like, we're gonna shut this down.
He's probably like, "Is she choking on her own damn hair again?" So on top of sort of all of that, some parts I did find hard to follow. Overall, the stories were told fairly well, I found, if you take them kind of at what they are. And then knowing the rumors of what happened to the author and sort of why they stopped writing, it adds sort of a what the hell element to the manga, in my opinion. I mean, I'll bring it up again. A deity made of hair. A malevolent deity made of hair. Like, this
Likes to mess with you.
it just, like, as I was reading it, it almost felt, in some of the stories, it felt wrong. Like, it was disturbing. And like some of the stories, the way that things were twisted in there, it was like, it almost felt evil in a way.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I didn't get
It's almost
through
like it's
everything.
trying to. So I like. Oh, this manga was okay. It's not as gut wrenching. It's not as gun ho as our manga of the choice last season.
Starving
Um,
Anonymous.
Starving Anonymous was a little bit more gut punching, a little bit more panicky, a little bit more you rooted for them, but you also did know what was coming, so it really made you like you had to take breaks at some point significantly. That's why that one I was willing to actually give you the weird off website that actually contained it because there's not really copies out here that I know of. And I could be wrong now, but to my thing there wasn't. So with all the story that kind of comes around with the author, um it's one of those things where it's just like it kind of makes it feel like the manga is cursed. So when you read it, you kind of feel like the jump scares or the eye staring back at you is cursing you at that point because you read it. It's almost like pulling, as I brought up 90s, it's almost like bringing like the goosebumps aspect back in it.
Yeah.
The goosebumps, the Are You Afraid of the Dark, the stories that don't actually have an ending to make you think about the ending.
Brain is a
I think that
scary
really,
place.
yeah, yeah. So it makes you compelled. And for me at first, because I read them through an app on my phone. I would like to actually get the copies because I do like the idea that I think it's funny. Um, so I, read it on my phone, and as I'm reading, there's a random like blank spot in between certain chapters, right? And I thought it was either A, it doesn't want to load, because sometimes that happens, the page don't load very well or whatever, or it's a weird ass blank spot that kind of cuts the chapters. Because it skips to different stories, but then they all kind of come back into each other in a way. So it's not telling you one flat story, it's telling you multiple stories from multiple angles. Um but as the page goes with the blank, especially for the first, technically the first book, but it's the first set in the first ambiance. It right, God. As the blank pages flip, you're slowly seeing something come up as to look at you. And that's what gets you, because you're like, whoa, wait a minute. When at first actually you start seeing something, because at first you see blank, blank something, but you're kind of like, it's a blank page. So you're not even paying attention to it. So you turn the page again, and then you get another blank, and it's an eyeball looking dead at you. Not an offset that they sometimes do with the looking of it, whatever. It's looking directly at you. And you're like, ah. Or in my case, ah.
This went bye-bye.
Yeah,
Very
middle of
quickly.
the night. I didn't have stories of, I didn't have dreams of hair. I didn't have any nightmares or nothing like that. I may have gotten farther than you did, but for me, it was kind of like I was trying to, as I'm reading, I was trying to put in peace what was really going on. Like, why does he do this the way he does? Why does, all this is happening? I think at one point during the first book, I thought, I was like, is this like sexually transmitted thing? Is this what's going on with it? Because there's one story where it's like the person apparently her grandmother originally told her to shave all of her hair off and trying to protect her, and you're like, okay, that's
Weird.
okay. I get it. It's the god of hair, that kind of thing. And but by the time she goes back to seeing, she runs into her ex or whatever. She goes, I'm gonna give it back to you, and I'm like, give what back? And then the girlfriend all of a sudden is feeling the hair getting pulled. So for me, it's like, was he toxic? Was he having the entity was cursing him and it got to her? And then, she's passing it back at this point, like that one movie that's about an STD that's like that, that's a monster that comes after you. So, like,
Hair
I don't
STDs,
know.
known as crabs.
Well, no, this one's like an actual monster that was like chasing you the whole time. You had to sleep with somebody else in order to get the monster off your back.
Crab
I'll
Myers.
have to send you like the name of it. I don't know if you really can watch it. I don't know if it's one of those that are banned up there, but I'll send you to you. But it's basically warning teens about the whole premise is it's an STD, but it's a paranormal STD. I don't know. Don't do that. I don't know. But that's what it felt like reading. I was like, oh, okay, so it's that. But then it goes back into the other, and I'm like, okay, maybe it's not. So like, I don't know.
Yeah. It was definitely not something that was necessarily organized very well. Like I found like it was very very fragmented, very um like disturbing, and like half of it for me was the fact that nothing makes sense. Like
I think that's the point, though.
just nothing
I
makes
think that's the point
sense.
because hair can get messy and entangled and a mess, and it doesn't make sense, and you don't know which way you're brushing, especially if you don't take care of it. You know, um, and I think that's pretty much what it is. He's a entity, a god of hair, so he can be as messy as he wants. He doesn't have to have a good hair day. So, I mean, Fragically Pieces, I mean, it's supposed to make you feel crazy the whole time you're reading it. Because I did start feeling crazy at one point because I was like, okay, I'm getting to one thing. And then you see the blank page again. You're like, oh, man, we're going somewhere else. I'm not about this.
Crazy hair monster. Not about it.
Not about this. Not about this. I was not. And it's, like I said, it's one of those, it's compelling, but you literally have to sit down and actually, like, read it up to the point where he stopped writing it. So the last installment. Um, I would love for him to come back and finish it, but I feel like it's going to be one of those that really probably is technically finished, and we just don't know it because it doesn't actually need an end. Like a lot of the Goosebumps movies, a lot of the Goosebump books, and a lot of the um, 90s horror kid stuff that Are You Afraid of the Dark? Half of those didn't actually have an actual ending. It was just like, how did you feel at the end of it? Were you spooked? Do you think the curse is still there? Is your voice, hello? Hello, are you there?
Hello?
Spooky.
Hello?
Hello?
Hello? Oh no.
Yo, hello?
Have screwed up with Bagagua. I have summoned Bagagua.
God of Gushy himself.
The curse is catching up.
Because Amy, it's gonna get me. Ah!
Oh god, there's two of you again.
Yes. There you go.
Thank you. Okay, we are recording.
Aw, too bad I didn't pick it or it was dead silence, but hello? Hello, are you there? That'd be fucking hilarious.
Like overall, it wasn't bad. I much preferred Starving Anonymous last year. Like, I mean, I don't mind abstract stories. I do prefer a personal one though. Like an easier to flow kind of like it's easier for me to get sucked into the manga that way.
Mm-hmm.
And I just prefer that.
I get that. Yeah, it's just one of those things where it's a little choppy, but it's meant to be that way to distort you. So, unlike the other one where it's more flowing, there is a lot of shock value. I can say that. That's why that one is 18 plus. I think it's 18 plus. I can't remember.
Yeah.
So I have it set like that for a reason because we do talk about a lot of topics that are no buenos. So um so yeah.
So overall, we really hope you enjoyed the double feature. Go over and check the other part that you missed. Whatever that was, part 1, part 2, whether you wanted to be tricked or treated first. And we really appreciate you hanging around with us.
And again, you have more to say about PTSD Radio. Let us know down below. Liked it, hated it, think you may be cursed, want to know the answers. We ain't got answers, but we can try to help you by ignoring your comment. Just kidding.
You cursed your bud line. Good luck to you. Godspeed.
Ooh.
He's just over here in the background, like, ooh, so happy. If you made it this far in the episode, we want to say thank you. We couldn't do this without your support. If you'd like to subscribe and become an official Manga Mommies member, the link will be in the show notes. For the manga of the month, the PDF copy or free website is located in the description below. If you feel up to it, like, subscribe, and share our podcast so we can find more people just like you. We hope you have a great rest of your day, whatever time that happens to be, and we can't wait to see you in the next one.
Stay tuned, and thanks for listening.
Bye-bye.